Wednesday, January 11th. I'm going to retweet the stream right now. Pick Central joined by a full cast and crew. Let's move this mic just a little bit. Get that shirt on camera. Marty, Big Ev, myself, Clemmer, and Smitty.
You're such a fucking flip-flopper. It's crazy. You can't root for 9,000 teams. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one.
You upset my friend Johnny Dawkins had a big win?
No, I don't care. Good for them, but I'm just saying pick a team.
Dude, college basketball is awesome this year.
College basketball is fucking awesome.
We'll get that. There's a lot going
on. No, that's what that can't be the lead.
But yeah, it's. I saw a meme or a picture of Saban and Belichick talking, and Saban had like his hand up. He's kind of like annoyed, I guess. And it was, you go Tuesday, I'm going to go Wednesday. And then it's Saban going like, I'm going Wednesday, no, and I'm not moving. Like, don't ask again. Or like his famous thing when he did that thing, like, don't ask again.
Like, so he goes, so quit asking.
Yeah, quit asking. That's what quit asking. So these two, I don't even know where, like, I really have no attachments to them other than watching their primes go.
I think we all have attachments.
But yeah, but the both, well, they're not my teams, but the both going in the same 48-hour period is, I don't know if something like was prepared to like take, you know what I mean? It's fucking insane.
It feels so weird to have to like unpack all of these at once.
Agreed.
Like, it was like they were just like, we're talking about the best college football coach of all time and the best NFL coach of all time within like 12, Agreed. 13 hours, whatever it was.
It is a bad day to be Pete Carroll's ego.
Yes.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe it's like good for him, where it's like, all right, let now Pete, because Pete still wants to coach, right?
I don't think.
I don't know.
I was going the other way.
An advisor role.
He's going into the front office.
He went upstairs. I think Pete's
That's already been announced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pete.
I know. Never mind. His ego's.
Yeah, I think it's. That's why I want to get confirmation that it seems like it was under his own volition that he was like going.
It seemed mutual.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Seahawks were ready to make a move too.
I didn't think it was.
He said he's still ready to coach.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw that.
It's all right. Less time on the field, more time with loose change.
So maybe it wasn't then. Maybe they kind of.
Yeah, maybe they threw him upstairs.
That's what I
They forced his hand a little bit.
A guy like that?
What was that?
He was into that? He was a truther?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
You said so.
I'm a huge Pete Carroll guy.
It's also funny when I see like these guys retire and whatever, and I'm like shocked, and they're like, but they're also like 75.
Well, he's 70. They're all 72, right? And Belichick.
Yeah, right. It's like one of those.
I'm shocked, but it's like they got to do it soon.
Yeah,
they all had so much like energy though.
Yes.
Like
let's put it in
especially Pete Carroll.
in a human setting, right? Hadn't seen Smitty for a while. Like, hey, play golf. Come back to the house. All right, yeah, I'll check in on your dad. And it's like, oh, hey, Mr. Smith, how you doing? Oh, well, I just actually hung it up at the factory. Like, oh, man, you were working until you were 75? Like, oh.
Mobile lifts.
Yeah, like, congrats. Like, or, somebody does it at like 68. You'd be like, oh, good for him. I put in like 40 years. These guys have had 45-year careers. Like, hang it the fuck up. You're 75. You're not supposed to be working.
Yeah.
It's tough when you have
again, to your point, we are shocked that they're leaving. It's anywhere else, you'd be like, oh, yeah, he had a great run. Like, good for you. You should enjoy your pre-golden age or this and that. Like, these guys were like, nah, he probably still has like 3 more. It's crazy.
Belichick's not retiring.
That's what I wanted to say.
That's
Belichick literally, like, all right, so
fair. But
I was thinking about this, right, with Popovich, right? Popovich earned how many fucking NBA finals he's had, right? And the Spurs have been dog shit for quite some time.
Yes.
But they just kind of leave him be because he's earned the spot for life, right? Like Bill Self has a lifetime contract in Kansas. Belichick, I think them basically saying we don't want you to coach and want you to be GM is like insane how they're parting ways after 24 years. I get you have to move on sometimes, and they've also sucked for the past couple of years, but like I just didn't think they would just completely part ways with them after.
It might be mutual. We don't know. Him and Kraft are doing the press conference together though, so it's happening at noon. I think if it was bad blood, he wouldn't.
I don't think there's going to be bad blood, but I do think that like he obviously still wants to coach. It's not like he's retiring. Like if he's retiring, of course, but he wants to coach, and the Patriots are saying no. And I know it's because of the GM shit,
100%.
probably.
Yeah,
100%.
That's what got him in trouble.
And yeah, I mean, but I could have sworn maybe Duke said it was that he was like okay with taking like letting the GM roll away.
He said, "No, I think it was a bluff. Honestly, I think it was bullshit." Bill Belichick is a fantastic and prolific liar, and I mean,
not wrong.
Let's call that out. And
that was good.
And Belichick there.
That was not the adjective I was expecting.
I was not expecting that one.
And prolific.
Liar.
That one caught me off guard.
I thought you were going to say he's prolific, like head football coach.
Yeah.
No,
That man,
good.
not Belichick, just in general. That man, he is an amazing racist.
free T-shirt to somebody who cuts Clemmer's face into that guy from Duke who says, "You're going to hear some fantastic lies." Or if Quigsy does it with the video, I'll buy him
He's a
lunch.
prolific liar.
Get that clip out there. Yeah, you are about to hear some fantastic lie. I need Clemmer's face photoshopped on there.
And I think that was a bluff. I think he definitely wants. I guarantee. I'll say this, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If he goes to the Falcons, he goes to the Chargers, wherever he goes, he will be the GM. Bill Belichick is about two things: lying and control. Those are Bill Belichick's most. The things he's most in love with are those two things.
That's not what Doogsy was saying yesterday. He's saying he wants to give up the GM.
You're muted,
Mike.
Very muted. You are beyond silent.
Yeah, sorry. I think that he totally wants to be GM or be coach, but I think that he sent a message to the entire NFL during his press conference where he says, "I'm willing to relieve my duties as general manager if that helps the team." That was a message also I felt like to Patriots fans being like, if I'm leaving, it's not because I wasn't willing. I had full control over this team.
Yeah, I think that was a lie. I think he's. He's saying. Well, let me explain why. Let me explain why.
With all due respect. With all due respect. With all due respect.
Yes, with all due respect. Yes.
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
With all due respect. No, seriously, the utmost respect to you. I don't believe a Jets fan telling me well, Bill Belichick's lying. Anything you're saying after
Well, no,
that.
take the bias away. Can you blame him for lying?
Yeah.
No, I think it's good PR.
That's 100%.
He's saying that so that when he knew that he was going to be so he's saying that and being like, "See, I was just willing to coach and it still didn't work out. It's not my fault. I told you that 2 days ago," and you're like, "No, Clemmer."
I think it was a message to the entire NFL, to all the other organizations, being like, "I don't have to just be the GM. I'm willing just to coach."
But he's going to be the GM. I guarantee it.
I think both things can be true. I think the message could be to the NFL, but also to Patriots fans.
I think
those things can.
But he knew he was on the way out.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think you're probably correct.
Absolutely. You think he just found out
No. But I think the message of I'll take that. I won't be the GM. I think his message to potentially the other teams, but also to Patriots fans of don't blame me.
I don't think that's true at all. So let me be very clear. Any team he goes to, he will be the GM.
No.
He was saying,
won't.
well, let's see.
I guarantee. I'll bet you right now because think about the teams he's going to probably, right?
Is it going to be a trade probably?
I don't know.
Because he's under contract.
He's a free agent, I think.
But I thought he was under contract. That was the whole point.
He is under contract.
I bet you that there was a sign.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot at noon.
Because Kraft's a savvy owner. I would think they would want compensation for losing the best coach ever.
I would imagine.
And the Commanders to me seem like the logical fit.
And then who did they just hire? They hired that basketball
What
guy.
pick do they have?
Second.
Commanders have 2.
Who did they just hire? The Commanders.
Bob Myers. They basically put together the Warriors.
You think they're just gonna he's not what team is gonna let him be the GM?
So no, the Bob Myers, he's not going to be in charge of the player personnel. Bill Belichick will be in charge of the 53-man roster. That's going to be his. He's going to be in charge of the players. Bob Myers probably is more strategy, things like that.
I don't think that's that absurd, to be honest.
What do you mean? Isn't that just the coach?
Well, that's the GM's responsibility.
No, but actually,
signing free agents,
picking
making trades. That's still Bill Belichick.
I think that they won't. I think that's just not going to happen.
And he will go somewhere else that will give him that.
I just don't see any team letting him do that.
Chargers?
But I think they have better. I think they would rather go with a Harbaugh or somebody, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I know it's crazy to say that out loud, it's Belichick, but
sure.
I think it's just because he's older.
He isn't young at all.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Who would you rather right now? Would you rather a Harbaugh or Vrabel or Belichick?
I think it's situational. Situational. If Bill Belichick
want the most.
If Bill Belichick, and this will never happen because Howie and Lurie after Chip Kelly will never not hire a puppet. If Belichick wants to come in and be to the Eagles and be a head coach and defensive coordinator, fuck yes, bring it on. I would welcome that more than anything, but it will never happen.
Spitty, I just tweeted that. You would get Belichick,
Hurts,
McDaniel. Again, it's great on paper. You'd reunite Patricia, McDaniels, Belichick. Howie as a GM.
I-
And you already have a talented roster. It's a win now roster and coaching staff.
I just want
but
Belichick
isn't
on the
that-
defensive side of the ball. That's it. That's it.
Isn't that a little bit of like, oh, the band's going back on tour, and then you get to the concert and you're like,
Well, but didn't Patriots fans like have a problem with McDaniels in his play calling towards the end? I mean, Patricia obviously
It felt
because
like
he wasn't
McDaniels-
an offensive mind, and as we're seeing now, he's not really much of a defensive mind anymore either.
I think he just.
That's what I'm saying. Like his
Patricia
whole
just-
pitch of reunite the band,
Giants a
the
lot.
band might not be that good.
I don't like the Giants.
Now, the band was good. The band might not be that good right now.
I don't
I
agree
get,
with that, to
I
be
get
honest.
what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bill
I actually
Belichick
don't
hasn't won a
know the-
playoff game since 28-3 game.
It's like seeing Bob Dylan and today.
I mean, my
Can't
thing
even-
with the
even
Patriots, like with
speak.
Bill Belichick, is he still puts together his offensive, his evaluation of offensive talent got him to where he is. So I don't blame them for the firing. But,
Offensive
like,
talent?
Yeah, defensively, Clemmer, I'm not doing this today.
Well, I don't
defense-
understand.
This is actually the one day you guys.
No, I
should-
agree.
Well, guess what? We're doing it.
The
This is the one day we like.
He's
defense
right. He's right. He turned a bunch of fucking like guys
Joe
you
Schmoes.
a bunch of fucking
He turned
Joe
them
Schmo
into
white
a
guy.
one-
JC
No,
Jackson.
no, no, no,
didn't
no, no.
turn
Wait
him
a
into
second.
a-
He
Brady
got
did it.
Brady did.
He hit
Brady
on
didn't
one
do
player.
shit.
No, he did.
Brady did.
He hit on Tom Brady. And
He hit on Malcolm Butler. He hit on JC Jackson.
Oh,
He hit
you're
on
talking
Troy
defense.
Brown.
He touched
But
the player.
that's defense.
defense.
That's defense. We're saying he hit
We're saying
defense, bad
offense.
offense.
But Troy Brown saw what he was good at, and at the end of his career, made him a fucking cornerback.
5 years ago, he held one of the best offenses in the league to 3 points in the Super Bowl. Are we forgetting about that?
But we're talking.
Longer
We're
ago
talking,
than-
Talking about offense.
we're talking
Longer
offense.
ago than that,
Yes,
Bill.
He all said defense, he's
yes,
good.
Of course. Brady made everyone on the offensive side of the ball way better than him. All I'm saying is that his evaluation of defensive talent is still clearly there in my opinion.
No,
Imagine
That's not how you started that. That's not how
Yeah,
you
you
started
said
that.
offense.
Yeah, trying to get
it's how
back.
I'm meant to be.
You
portrayed.
misspoke, I think.
And
Because
yeah.
imagine he actually had any offensive evaluation. Imagine his wide receivers that Brady would have, or
Yeah.
anyone.
Tom Brady's making Deion Branch catch 15 catches in the Super Bowl.
like
Right.
his offensive, when's
And
the
Coates
last,
could probably still play with Tom Brady.
when's the last good draft he's had?
Well, I guess I do give him a little bit of credit though, that in the sense that like it always bothered me that they never went for big time wide receivers other than Moss, and even when we went with Moss, that was it was long. into
Shots
his career.
fired, Dante Stallworth.
Well, they tried to get Cooks, but they never went for
got
big.
Cooks.
They did have.
I'm saying it didn't work out.
They won
I
a Super
thought
Bowl.
Cooks was the big splash, and they got rid of him.
Look at
very
this.
soon.
got rid of him.
Get Juju Smith-Schuster like that. That was.
He's at the end of his career. That's
They drafted
Patriots.
They drafted N'Keal Harry. Awful.
Agreed.
They drafted Myers too.
Taekwon Thornton.
But
awful.
he's been
But for a
better.
long period
He's
of
only been his
time.
best since he was gone from the Patriots.
Yeah.
Jacoby Meyer left the Patriots and became like this dynamic playmaker.
I
was
give him a
always
little bit
good
of
at
credit of
benches.
like people being like, "How could you drive that car?" He's like, "I'm telling you, it does the job." Like knowing that he's got Brady and Chris Hogan and fucking Welker and these guys can work.
Chris Hogan.
Amendola, like.
Did you know he played lacrosse?
Oh, I never heard that.
Did you know Todd Frazier played in the League World Series?
No shit.
Really?
Kershaw and Stafford.
Yeah, that one too. That's the one.
Oh my God.
So like I guess he knew enough to like I don't have to do that because he did have Brady. So it's one of those I don't know, who knows, but yeah, it's
So where do you guys think he ends up? And is he the GM?
well, I will say this: he better not. If he goes out on a Jets loss, that's gonna eat him alive forever. He'll still
He's still.
be laying on the death
He'll be coaching.
He's too upset.
I say
I'm more surprised to see who the one playoff team is rumored to be in contention for him.
I think it's the Cowboys.
You think it's the Cowboys?
I've heard Cowboys
Oh
for
my
a
God.
long
If
time.
they lose to the Packers,
Yeah, I've heard
Imagine.
Cowboys.
The only thing, and I like that. I mean, I don't like that because he'll make the Cowboys good. Do you think Jerry would be okay with that?
That's the thing. Imagine Jerry and Jones and Bill Belichick arguing about a draft pick.
No.
That's gonna happen.
They're both on the same page.
A Jerry Jones, Bill Belichick run team might be the most evil team of all time.
Joey B might be a part of that soon too. Like he'll just be part. That's how old that whole room would be, being like, "What the fuck?"
I said that to you in like October. Like I heard Cowboys if like Mike McCarthy goes out round one, round two, and again like, you brought up a good point, like the egos of Jerry Jones, but they have a good relationship.
Do you
Like,
think if-
they have a good relationship? Like
I'm sure him and Jimmy Johnson had a good relationship before Jimmy Johnson took over.
of
too,
course,
yeah.
but they were saying like I know that when they got Zeke, like it was from what's Jerry Jones' son's name?
Steven Jones.
Yeah, like they had a conversation and they like recommended Zeke
Hey,
to the
Zeke
Patriots.
was a
A
good
great
signing.
player-
I don't
great
care
player
what
for the
anyone
you're
says.
not bad.
Do you think if they beat the Packers, you can fire him?
Yes, absolutely.
If they lay a fucking egg to,
would they play next?
they'd be home again.
Do you think
Who would
Belichick?
They'll play the Eagles.
The second lowest seed.
I still think
You
the
play the
league.
Eagles and lose. Like, is that? I mean, yeah, I guess it's because it's been how many years has McCarthy been the coach?
Oh, I think they could play.
Wild.
I think they can get to the NFC Championship game, lose to the 49ers in
and still get fired.
not good fashion.
Yeah, but is Bill the right? Like, would Dak be excited that with Bill? Like, I think you need in this league. You need
I almost
to have
think
like
anybody would be excited with.
you need
Bill
to have
off
cutting edge offensive strategies. Yes, we still grind on defense and stuff like that, but the play calling. You need to put your quarterback in a great spot to feature him offensively. Do we know if Bill still has that?
Bill never
or would
was
he
an
would he
offensive
never
guy.
would he want? Yeah, but would he be set in his ways of having an opinion? I don't.
Also, what happens to like Dan Quinn, who's a pretty good defensive coordinator?
It sounds like
No, it sounds like
getting
he's like a
job.
lock for
He's gonna get a-
Seattle.
Yeah, he's getting
It sounds like he's Seattle. Yeah.
That absolutely makes perfect sense.
Literally, the,
He was the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
That just came into my mind. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, great call by Seattle.
I think
good minds over there.
Yeah. Well,
I
it
think
just makes
Belichick's gonna go with the
sense.
Commanders.
Commanders. I mean, Chargers is probably the most
the odds-on
talented
favorite
fit
right now,
for
I
him.
think.
I think Harbaugh's gonna go to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Dude, too.
I've seen a lot of smoke there, and I think it sounds like they might be willing to give him kind of the reign of like GM as well.
As a Jets fan, this is terrible news.
Yeah, because you kept your coach.
Hey, Belichick just going to the Falcons seems like a disaster. It just does. It just seems very anticlimactic and
They're good at gassing a lot of that. Kirby Smart's getting some. I'm seeing some more smoke around that too potentially.
Phil isn't
brushed off.
completely wrong. In a sec, he said it mean, but are you a little upset where I think we have a fantastic coach. I love our coach.
You have a good coach.
I think we have a great coach. I think your coach sucks. I really do.
I don't know if he sucks. He's not good.
But is it more like kind of like I wish we did fire him because there's so many good coaches out there right now?
My
This is
bigger-
the most.
Yeah.
Also, what would
Genius.
Bill do with that defense?
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
Bill on
Oh, I don't want Bill Belichick. I don't want anything to do with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick.
oh, you're
Do it,
fucking
take it in a
nuts.
second.
Bill
You are
Belichick with
nuts.
the talent in the Jets defense.
Are you kidding me? Just because he used his cum rag to write down a napkin, he's not coaching the fucking
No.
Jets anymore and threw it in your face. You will take him.
No.
20 years later,
Not
6
it.
Super Bowls.
Not it at
No,
all.
you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a fascinating and pathological liar.
Smitty, if you listen to the show all year, Clemmer can't publicly state that he wants Belichick. Even
I don't. I hate Bill Belichick. I don't want anything to do with
would
him.
take him as a
I
head
mean,
coach.
but listen, stop screaming and let me talk. It's gonna scream at me, and then I guess that's what it is. I don't want anything to do with Bill Belichick because I don't want anything to do with Bill Belichick, the GM. I also think Bill Belichick, the offensive mind, is awful. He is a washed-up coach.
What if he
It
comes?
happens. It happens to all of them.
What if he comes in as my hypothetical for the Eagles for the Jets? So Joe Douglas is still the GM.
Right.
Offensively, you can do whatever you want. He basically comes in, head coach, defense. You wouldn't take him?
It wouldn't happen, but like in that theory, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
72 also. Like, what are you getting here? It's the Eagles are a little different because you guys are so much better than us. I mean, maybe if we have Rodgers, it would be a little different. But
Rodgers likes Belichick too.
The Jets also beat the Eagles this year.
the Jets.
Fact.
The Jets are not. That's. I mean, I'm as a Jets fan, I am upset. Bill Belichick is leaving the Patriots because he's not a good coach anymore. He's a horrible GM, and I'm terrified you guys can get Vrabel. Like that to me is like, oh fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
but
that's gonna happen.
That's definitely going to happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's him
But
and
you
Mayo.
saying that you would be okay with Robert Saleh over Bill Belichick is
I'm not
absurd.
even saying that. I don't think Robert Saleh.
That's what you're saying.
No,
I
but
think Robert Saleh is horrible.
Yeah, I don't think he's horrible.
I'm not a believer.
I hate having Hackett as my offensive coordinator. Like, there's a lot of problems with the Jets. That isn't.
That's just because of Rodgers.
I truly
right?
think if Belichick was the coach next year,
yeah.
the
It was
Jets win the
Saleh.
Super Bowl.
If it wasn't for Rodgers, he'd be out too.
I think they bought.
That's correct. I believe
Yeah.
that as well.
Belichick and the Jets would be like the perfect fit right now.
I said
it would be perfect.
No, it wouldn't. We need offensive help, not defensive.
But I'm saying he runs the
your
defense
offensive help
and
is
just
coming in at
let
quarterback.
Rodgers run the offense.
Yeah.
Your quarterback is going to be your offensive help.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Robert Saleh coaching a defensive. Robert Saleh's defense is fine. Bill Belichick, like I don't really see.
Bill Belichick maximizes that
Yeah,
defense.
I think Bill Belichick in
Still?
year one with
At
Rodgers wins the
72?
Super Bowl.
I mean, the Patriots' defense this year was good. Was
And
pretty
they
good.
lost. Okay, and they also
And they were
lost-
bad, but
and they-
his defense is pretty good.
And they lost Judon and Gonzalez, their
They did.
two best
It's true.
players,
They did.
and they didn't have a
They did.
secondary for
Did
the
you
first
see
half of the year.
Judon's tweet?
Yeah.
He's like
Fucking
he's
Trent
like-
Brown's so mad. He's like going off, being like, nobody wants to come to the Patriots. Like, this isn't a vacation spot. Blah 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 blah. Like, and Judon plays the role of like trying to bring people into the Patriots, and he's like, man, Trent making my job hard this year.
He was also
He's
like,
GM Judy gonna come.
yeah,
He's gonna
he
save
said,
the day.
GM Judon, let me sign some players this year at Patriots.
Also, before you guys dive into this, I just want to get this out of there, just from like Vrabel or Gerard Mayo. I don't care who becomes the head coach. What I want is the guy that has the best plan.
I think you're crazy. I think if you have Vrabel, I think Vrabel is like 10 times better than obviously Mayo's going to be. I don't think Mayo is going to be bad, but if you have the chance to get Mike Vrabel, I think you have to.
Wasn't
Especially with
Mayo
the-
but
quote in line for like a decade?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I talked to a bunch of my Patriots fans today, my friends.
You're Patriots fans.
You have friends of Patriots fans too?
Went to school. They were
College.
Went to college.
I'm just asking. Why is it always a pro? I asked if it was you have friends as Patriots fans.
I got you.
What do you mean? I have one too. I was going to say he's a scumbag. We're about to unite there.
Like keeping Mayo or going with Mayo. I look at it this way: this 20-year run that the Patriots had is never going to be replicated ever in the NFL. I don't think anywhere.
Mahomes,
it's
maybe.
Like on track.
It's damn hard. Okay,
Never is a big word.
It's damn hard.
Yeah.
It's damn hard. They were bad before that. Like the Patriots weren't no success before that. Don't you think it's just time to completely sever the ties
No.
and completely restart? You can
Get,
still have the Patriot
God you don't
culture,
love the Patriots.
and you can still have the trophies, and you can still have like the prestige to a degree. But like
Rico, your
maybe,
guy,
like
your guy Gaz had a pretty good tweet this morning. The Crafts have hired 3 coaches: Bill Parcells, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Pretty crazy, right?
yeah. But
not bad.
I'll say this: like
Even though Carroll obviously
is hard.
wasn't as good.
it is hard to keep hitting in the NFL. You could go down the list of franchises, and there's maybe 2, 3 in my opinion. Like off the top of my head, Patriots, Steelers, and Packers.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay, Ravens. But I was gonna because they had
Eagles.
Holmgren, and then they had success with Rod. What?
I'm just
I mean, the
naming-
NFL
no,
is such,
but I'm
the
just
NFL
saying
is-
the Chiefs you
So
put
the
there,
fact
absolutely.
I put it this way, like yes, you say it all the time. Like why do the Spurs always end up with guys who are just great in the draft that people overlooked? It's because like it's a chicken and egg type of thing.
They haven't in a while. That's the thing too. What I'm saying about Papa.
For a-
They're letting him stay.
They went and got Parker. Nobody thought they got Ginobili. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Back then,
just
for
that.
sure.
So like it is part of the culture. But I also think it's one of those in the NFL you can't always hit. You're just due to miss. The fact that they've nailed 3 in a row makes me think they're so due to miss on this one.
But
You know what I'm saying? Or
Would,
like,
would you? Let me ask you this. So, but would you consider Vrabel like starting over? Because obviously he's
not
like a.
really because he's a Belichick guy.
That's what I'm saying. But I think
the
that would.
same-
But I still think that would be in my opinion, that's a great move, and I think it's what
It
they
is.
should do.
That's where you're conflicted because how do you pass on Vrabel? Like he had success. I think he's a great coach, but I don't know. Like
I think they should.
I don't know.
I think they should want to keep a little bit of that, like that. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it, legacy or whatever.
Yeah.
However you want to describe it, like in the clubhouse, in the locker room, but still have like a new, younger, fresher face. But still, like obviously, he's proven to be like a damn good coach. Has done a lot with not a lot.
Agreed, but you're the Patriots, and you have this, and people do see the prestige, and you like, oh man, when you go there and win, like I could be a god, like it's crazy, and it is hard to follow the guy. But like, and I don't know contract situations, so I'm probably talking out of my ass. I know I am, but like, can you make a Godfather offer to a guy like McVay?
It's not. This isn't a.
Get what I'm like?
combo,
You know what
though.
I'm saying? I get it. It's hard.
I think
and
I
don't
think
know
it's.
how that
I
all
just think
works.
it's so. I just think it's so unlikely.
You can't.
Why would you leave LA?
He has,
Why would
he has a-
McVay
he has-
wanna go to the
He has a great thing there. He lives in Los Angeles, opposed to New England. I mean, it's so many.
I will
things.
say, Boston.
uprooting his family, like it's a lot.
Rico's
Oddfather
favorite
offers.
thing to do- Rico's favorite thing to do when a coach gets like fired or whatever is like take other people
outside the box.
Why don't the Patriots?
like they already have.
I think
They should make a grant. They should make an offer to Andy Reid.
Bosco, I think that if
No,
you're the-
he's got Mahomes. He ain't leaving. Like, let's be realistic here.
Bosco, if you're the Patriots, I think that the
trade
first
for
person you
Mahomes
call,
and Mahomes
What?
and Reed.
the first person you call if you're the Patriots is Brad Stevens. You have to make him say no.
That's honestly
Yeah.
Bosco would
Yeah.
do that.
You get him as GM.
Him and Jay
Yeah, you
Wright.
got-
He'd call Jay Wright.
But no, I
These
actually
boys whipped into shape.
that's like a good hypothetical to have like a sports. But like I'm pretty sure for a fact the Crafts have said they like want to keep it in house.
Okay.
So like it's either
Are you guys fans of in-house?
Yeah.
Depends.
It depends, too.
It depends too. In this situation, I am not. When there's a
Well, Vrabel's in-house, right?
I would consider Vrabel.
Vrabel's like
saying it's
sort
not
of
in-house
Yeah,
right
sort
now.
of in-house.
It's not in house because it's been
All right.
a while. He's been a Titans head coach for how long?
No,
now?
but I mean, he was
It's not.
he's just
It's
inducted.
not.
It's half
but
in-house.
It's not. It's not in-house, but it's not an out-house.
Yes, and I think that's the fucking most perfect house.
He's a Patriots Hall of Famer.
You like Mayo, yeah, it's good. He knows the Patriot way, knows Belichick's ways, but like Vrabel knows that and has his own success. Perfect. And I think it'd be insane to have Mayo.
If it's as long as one of the two Patriots captains that like, I'm good. I'm good with either one, honestly. And I don't think that you're like again. But Mayo's not a proven head coach yet, so yeah, it's easier to just be like, yeah, I'm going to go to the guy that's won a couple playoff games, had some good seasons. But like, I firmly do believe that Gerard Mayo will be an excellent head coach in the NFL. I think he's like one of the few Patriots guys that like I truly believe in. At like leaving if like he left the Patriots, I'd be like, damn, he's going to be a good head coach.
Well, I was going to say this too. I wonder if they hire Vrabel, does Mayo leave?
I know.
Yes, he would. I
does.
think.
He
And I wouldn't
I
blame
would
him.
think. I would think he
Yeah,
would.
You can't blame him
Because
for
you know
that.
what
Getting
he has
passed
over everybody else that he has, like McDaniels, Patricia, Flores. He played like he gets it. He was a Pro Bowl. He was a first-round pick. So that's why I think that him leaving or him
Is
being a head
player
coach.
coaches good in the NFL?
And he's not a player. That's not what I'm saying.
I mean,
He
Vrabel
can
is,
relate-
too.
he can
I
relate-
was asking. I'm
when you
just-
can relate to players,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. When you're like a player coach being buddy. Like that's not what Vrabel
I mean, that's
is.
kind of why, like,
Vrabel's not a player coach. I wouldn't say.
no, I'm saying like he played like a player
Oh yeah,
and
player.
coached
Coach, yeah.
And
after.
D'Amico Ryans is pretty good. So
Yeah, it can-
No, yeah, it was more of a genuine question.
Andy
about-
Reid
question.
won the punt pass kick.
That he did.
I also think you guys are wrong about Harbaugh. I think he's going to the Raiders. I think
Maybe.
I think
That
Raiders.
makes a lot of sense.
1000%.
Vrabel, by the way, only 48. So if I'm if I'm Gerard Mayo, I'm like if I'm Kraft, because Kraft doesn't like to fire coaches. Remember, Parcells left.
Vrabel's 48.
Yeah,
Just feels like he retired.
Dude, yeah, me too.
he's really
I
only.
think he was catching touchdowns at the Super Bowl 20 years ago.
Why would Harbaugh want to go in
Yeah.
division to the Chiefs? I don't love that. I know those are the two most identical, but I think
In the NFL,
I
it's
mean,
like-
it's like every
not-
team.
every
Well, most
division.
divisions
They're
have
also
a stud
it's
quarterback.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas wants to be that like notable coach. They don't want Antonio Pierce there. I can tell you that.
yeah.
The players do,
Yeah, the players do.
and I think the Giants should sign him as a
The defensive
defensive
coordinator.
But
Maybe.
I don't think that like Vegas wants that name. They want it, so people are coming. Harbaugh after this is perfect for them.
You want to bounce out Wink after he did a fucking great
gone.
job for you this year? He's gone.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't.
he like ran out. They were like
Well,
gonna fight.
no, basically what happened was,
That was real.
No. This is what happened.
That happened mid-season. They're like, no, we're fine.
Of course, it does happen.
The outside linebacker coach was Wink's like right-hand man. He was horrific. They fired him and basically against Wink's will, and that drove him nuts. They got into a huge fight over it, and basically said, "If you're firing this guy, like I'm out too." That's essentially
went to Florida.
Long,
It was a
long
standoff for like 2
Yeah, they
days.
got the standoff over it. He just was so mad that they fired this outside linebacker coach, who was his like guy.
What's this?
I don't know what this is.
Don't expect Wink there much longer. Dable is keeping Wink, but just fired
Yep, the
Kevin Drew Wilkins, outside linebacker coach. Wink is drafting his resignation call
If it
to.
gained a yard against him in practice. Sorry, that's unbelievable.
What happened?
At the ending is fucking great. Rotten
Gable
hell
told
us
just
to
stormed out.
Yeah, so that's why we're.
Oh, fuck you.
I would love
Never
Wink.
gained a yard against us in practice.
I'd love Wink to
I
stay.
mean, fuck,
but-
I'd love Wink at the Eagles.
Yeah, not now. I mean, it's over pretty much. It seems like it's over.
Oh, it is.
Nah, he's done. He's
I guess
out.
they reached a.
No, he even agreed like to not like he was supposed to make $3 million next year. And
He's
he
not
said,
taking
like,
a dollar.
Take it. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm out.
So that's why.
I want him more now.
But actually, it was the outside linebacker coach. Our three outside linebackers were like three of the bottom in like rush, like just with like
might
winning
have been
pass
the
rush.
three worst.
Horrific, especially when we have like a young, like a blue chip like Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Like we need to get those guys need to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
I bet if Kraft's going to sign Vrabel, I bet he's thinking, I'm going to sign this guy for the next, this is my guy for the next 10 years.
Did
20
you
years.
see? Did you see why? So Vrabel came to Belichick's to become a Patriots Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like during their bye week, and he was like, he made some offhand comment like, "I'll be back soon," or it was definitely like Patriots fans like, "Oh, that's our next head coach," whatever. supposedly the Titans GM was so mad about
The
it
owner.
that he didn't. Yeah, the owner was so mad that he didn't dispel the rumors that he was going to go to the Patriots. That's part of the reason why he got fired.
Yeah.
That was part of almost the main reason he got
And
fired.
Marty, did you see
Ian
the other
Rappaport
thing?
said it
They
had a
didn't
big
want to
reason.
trade him because they didn't want to trade him because they
It
just
would,
didn't
it
wanna,
would basically be too much effort.
'Cause that's where I was like, yeah, it's too
What
much
the fuck
effort,
is that?
and I think they just really hated. That was like a Bosco grudge. Like they really hated that comment and just get him out. Where it's like everyone loves Vrabel. Like
Agreed.
that's where it's crazy.
This is a wild question, but did he underachieve in Tennessee?
Overachieved.
I would say over.
I know overachieved because like he went on the
didn't have a
run
star
and like
quarterback.
Even like if you look at their
Not-
team
you
like
can't-
this year, like I know they only won 6 games. That roster is
Bro,
like,
where
decimated.
did
Disgusting.
where did Tannehill rank in quarterbacks?
This man almost brought Tannehill to a Super Bowl.
15 maximum.
They went to AFC title game. I think they had a 20-point lead or like 17.
I know what you mean though. It's not crazy.
Talking more of they always play up in game like last game, like when they are underdogs.
Yeah.
get to the
I-
point.
Is that why Vrabel's such a we're saying he's a good coach because he had a mid team and he's always made him like that's
yeah.
But that's a
People are looked at-
that's a good coach.
Pretty good.
no.
I think that's kind of what Dable's done a little bit. Like we have an ass team.
Well, no, that's
When was he the number 1 overall seed 2-3 years ago and lost to Burrow?
His best year was 2021. I'm looking at it right now. 12-5.
And he was number 1 overall
I
seed.
thought they lost to the Chiefs.
That year they
It is
lost to the
also
Bengals.
so hard
Yeah.
to be good in the NFL. Like I said this
Oh,
with
yeah.
Belichick.
Didn't
It's like,
the Titans have a game they were
like,
up
you-
big
the
and lost
NFL
to-
is
That was
set
to
up.
the Chiefs in the AFC title game. Yeah, they were up.
The NFL is set up so there's parity and that there's turnover every year, every 4 years. Like you see with exactly like you said, like with the Titans, like the teams like Derrick Henry, Brian Tannehill, like that team now is obviously going to suck. That's why that's why Bill Belichick, in my mind, even with Brady, what he did was so impressive because even on the defensive side of the ball, he had to have so much turnover.
But
so many
Reed's
different
doing it with
players.
Mahomes. Like it's not that.
Yeah, but, like,
I mean,
even-
if you have a good
I-
quarterback. I mean, Peyton Manning had a winning
Okay,
season for the Colts for
I
years.
agree, but like, they're like we saw the Chiefs struggle this year. I still think they're probably gonna make the AFC Championship, but we clearly see like a dip. Like
But there were ye- but there were years the Patriots had a dip though.
also like
It was a long stretch between the 2 3-peats.
preseason.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was consistent.
division.
Like, yeah, it was consistent.
division,
I
yeah.
do think that like this could be a Chiefs dip, and then all of a sudden,
Chiefs step.
they get-
You think God or what's more powerful than God, the NFL and Roger Goodell are going to allow the Chiefs and Mahomes to dip?
No.
See how
I mean, you
cold
see,
it's gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, they have everything on their
that's-
side. The Miami Dolphins lose to Buffalo and then have to go to Kansas City to play in the coldest game ever.
Yeah.
How does that line up?
Also,
Fact.
not to mention,
Somebody-
how much does the NFL want Taylor Swift? To keep
Agreed.
this thing
Agreed.
going?
Yeah.
I got a call about this yesterday on my show. The kid goes, I equate it to the Chiefs have the answers to the test, and they're so dumb they could still fail it. That's how bad they've been playing.
I don't.
Like
On-
Goodell,
on
Goodell,
offense.
Goodell.
have been
It's
playing
crazy.
bad, but-
It's crazy that their defense is good.
They've been playing bad, but like
Nuts.
again, like we were talking about a dip. Yes, there's definitely been a dip, but they won the division in the 3 seed. Like Mahomes can just be that guy in the playoffs. That's just what he does.
I think the problem is
Playing
we've never seen them
Denver
be-
Broncos and had to kick 4 field goals to win the
But I
game.
was gonna say
They like
we've never.
still, but like
It's like the NFL and
They-
God sabotage the other teams in the division. Like Chargers were supposed to be something again. Brett Staley's the worst head coach of all
Yeah.
time. You see what happened to the Raiders and the Broncos? Like they should have been more better than they were, and now they're in Schitt's Creek with Wilson like going out.
Rico's point is valid though. The Chiefs have only scored 20 more points, 3 in the last 8 games. So like the Chiefs' offense is a problem. Now, can they rectify for the playoffs? I think so, especially against the bad defense.
Travis
Like Miami.
Kelsey has also been horrible for the past
Man,
about
man.
like maybe 6 games.
They're all. I mean,
And it's
they've
also-
won what? Like, I mean, I think they've covered the spread once since like November.
It's very hard also, I
crazy.
think, for Kelsey to like when you're the only guy that can catch the ball. They have no one else to wear. Rasheed Rice is
Yeah,
like
That's it. Yeah.
But that's the thing. He's not bad. That's like what the Chiefs have right now. But besides him, it's god awful.
You guys think Kelsey retires after these playoffs?
No.
No.
I do.
Can I ask you guys one more
I
thing?
think he's too like
I think he's got another year or two.
on top of the world too.
You know who's going to have a career game on Saturday, right? You know who's going to have the best game of all time?
Richie James.
Kadarius Toney.
Probably.
Kadarius Toney
Even worse.
against Frank. It's just a Frank factor.
No, yeah.
Kadarius Toney in the snow is going to go
a
rush
good point.
rush
Is
for
Waddle
40 yards.
I think it's.
Great
I'm not sure yet.
It is kind of
That's
crazy
huge.
though, like the Dolphins, like with Frank, like Tyreek Hill's house went on fire like that. Like back, like there's random shit that keeps happening. It is a little.
He makes
crazy.
more
Honestly,
sense.
they've had insane injuries, especially on defense.
Phillips, did you see his fucking leg?
Phillips, fucking Van
His leg
Ginkel.
was disgusting after that surgery. I saw that picture yesterday.
They lost a ton of guys.
Really quick before we get to probably Saban. Phil, you see what's the Giants news?
What news?
Daniel Jones gonna be our starting quarterback.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
You got to say that at this time.
I think that means that we're just. I think they're gonna draft like just an offensive lineman.
It does no good to say otherwise. You might as well-
I mean, Joe Shane also said like we'll take whoever we feel is like. He got
Yeah, I
asked
don't-
point blank. And
I
he pretty much said he didn't deny we would draft a quarterback.
I don't think we take a quarterback.
Public quotes now don't really mean much to me. It's more
Yeah.
about like it could just be posturing.
It's got to be, because why wouldn't you posture?
Of
It only makes
course.
sense.
I don't.
If
I
they
just don't
listen,
think we take a
if
quarterback.
they love a guy and he's there at 6, they'll take him.
I'll tell you this: if Daniel Jones is our quarterback next year, we'll be in the top 3 picks next year.
That's great.
we won't.
But
No,
there's
we
no
won't.
quarterbacks next
We're
year.
way
will be.
better than.
I have a question for you.
It's what I said. I was right this year. I said we're good enough. Gable's good enough coach. There's just enough talent to win more games than to be the top 3.
Won 6 games with Tommy DeVito and
Won 3 football games with Tommy DeVito as the
And-
quarterback.
We
Tyrod
won with
Taylor.
Daniel Jones, and it was a 28-point
Insane.
comeback.
Dukes, I have a question for you.
That schedule though, when we looked at it, Meek, you were right over my shoulder. Daniel Jones' schedule was 30 times harder.
so.
Yeah, for sure.
You're making
That's
$40
true.
million. You can't beat the Seattle Seahawks in a Monday night primetime
Who
game.
cares? It's
You
not
just-
your
you just
money.
picked- yeah.
Whose money? I don't have the money.
No, it matters the cap.
You can't.
No,
you
that
can't-
matters.
You scored 0 points versus your division rival.
had
at
to
home.
pay him.
We
But how you
lost.
allocate the money matters.
I don't think
Phil's
anyone-
one of those
Allocate the money.
guys-
We can get out next year. Like
He
we
was
did
the
it right.
6th overall pick.
Phil's one of those guys. Phil's one of those
Yeah.
guys in the deli on Monday morning,
Yes.
holding the newspaper and being like, "You believe this? Daniel Jones, fucking 2 of 27. That's my tax money. Believe it?"
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Phil, what? Like, what are you?
Yeah.
I want a quarterback that can score
Yeah,
touchdowns
exactly.
versus the Dallas Cowboys. They haven't beaten Dak since his rookie year.
Damn, that's crazy.
Great.
All right, what were you saying, Clement?
Dude, I have a question for you, Duke. So where are you, like, emotionally? Like, how do you feel about today's news? So, like, as a Jets fan, I am actually kind of frightened because I don't want you guys to get Vrabel. But where are you? Like, is this good day, bad day? Where are you?
This is a bad day, honestly. Because I'm one of those Patriots fans that the Cam year was a disaster. Make the playoffs with Mac. Last year, I think we're 1 game away from being in the playoffs. So like I was like very hopeful coming into this year. This year was a disaster amongst disasters. I kind of hate the way it's going out. Like a 4-win season doesn't feel right. Like I would have liked him to go out with like a 10-6 first round exit in the playoffs rather than this. But look, this guy made me, and Tom Brady, of course, but this guy's made me the person that I am today. And that's not even a joke. Like I'm way more cocky and confident because of the Patriots' success than I would have been if they weren't. That's not even a joke.
Well, no, he's made like all like 25 to like 35-year-olds in
He's not wrong.
in New England incredibly entitled and arrogant.
Yes.
hate
Of none of their own
I
doing.
have gotten way more humble in the
Long Island.
Yeah. But I've been way more humbled in the past 4
Yeah, that's
years.
even worse. You're a New
Forget
Yorker.
Dukes
That's
is from Long
that's
Island.
sickening.
But I
Makes
will have
no
to say,
sense.
when I was growing up, I had to deal with shit from Giants fans because of the Super Bowls. And when I was like 10 and 11, it was all Jets because the Jets owned the Patriots for like a 2-year stretch in the playoffs. Like they made the AFC championships. The Patriots didn't. There was some like, no, I'm not going to say any dark.
There was
days,
a big
but-
gap in there, I
but-
guess.
Yeah, but like the Kenbrell Tompkins Monday Night Football catch, like that being the highlight of a season, like that was pretty depressing.
I hate how much
What was that against the
that
Saints?
comments.
I remember I bet on the Saints. That was gross.
I hate how much how your
I
comment.
remember that game.
Bill Belichick success correlates just to how much it developed you. It is with me and Andy Reid in Philly.
Yeah.
You never got the ring.
Well, exactly. That's why Dukes is a successful mindset, and
Agreed.
I am.
Scorned. Yeah,
Like, yeah.
scorned.
Like it was just like, no, this is what we do. Like, you want a Super Bowl, you go get it. Like it was just, I don't even know how to describe it, but
See,
like,
we just win.
yeah, like that's just, it's just
yeah,
what we
You
do.
you idiots don't win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you manifest it. You manifest
Like,
it. And
I
meanwhile, I'm just like waiting for the fucking anvil to drop on my dick.
Yeah, like I remember my
You
friend.
won a Super Bowl.
One.
You've gotten to a couple.
One Super Bowl, which is
You've
amazing.
been
Been
to
to 3
two.
in your life.
Great. He's won 6.
yeah,
I've
that
never
was
been
sick.
to one.
That was sick.
And look at you.
Clemmer, can I tell you something? God honest truth. I'm to the point with Jets fans where if the Jets make a Super Bowl, I hope you know that like I will be rooting for the Jets.
Yeah, we don't care.
I'm rooting for like the Owens.
I think you say that until it
I
happens.
don't know, like to the Owen Rotors of the world, to like my uncle Steve, who's like fucking 72.
No,
You're not a real Patriots fan if you're rooting.
But I'm telling you, it's easy to say that when they're in the gutter.
Suck.
The second they're actually dominating you, and all the Jets fans are literally shitting down your throat,
I haven't
it's going to
considered
be
that.
so different.
I haven't considered
Exactly.
dominating.
When it becomes real, when they're the ones kicking your ass, and winning championships,
you're
and
right.
this
You're
and
right.
that.
You're right. You're right.
It's almost
You're gonna be like, fuck this.
I was kinda thinking
Yankees
there's like a
fans where I'm
Giants
like,
perspective.
Mets fans for so long, I'm just like, they're like, yeah, good for them. Like, they're let them have their fun. And then they made the World Series against the Royals, and I was like, fuck that. I do not.
See, I was so lucky. I was at Ohio State for that, so I didn't have to really like deal with Mets fans. I was just around like
I
Ohio.
would have changed the
New York,
course. Same in 06. I feel like in 06, if we win, they're building something. Same with 15, but whatever.
It's the time.
Can I take it back?
06 was the time.
Can I take something back?
Royals, though.
Clemmer,
No.
Clemmer,
I was there. I was at all those games.
I'm okay. I would
sorry.
rather never make an AFC Championship game if it secured the fact that you never ever see a Jets Super Bowl.
Yes, that's my statement.
that's-
Like that, I don't like. I was considering like, oh, we'll win one more. I don't need any more.
You
If
thought about your uncle for a second, felt
Please.
bad for him.
If
and
you
then
don't
it was-
come
that
in-
was- oh, yeah, but the rest, who gives a fuck?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think Dukes is allowed to like vote.
No, he's not.
I don't think he is.
He's wait till
will
Golden
not
Retriever.
go.
It's like, oh, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
It's like
That makes the best sense.
You turn on Fox News, I'm like, this guy fucking makes sense.
Yeah.
You turn on CNN, I'm like, this guy has a really.
This guy's got a good
Great
idea.
point.
The advice I would give to Bill Belichick, though, is you're going to have a lot of offers.
Oh, that's. Here we go. Love a Bill Belichick.
I think-
Go Bosco. Bill Belichick.
Rico, tell me. Let me get your ear.
It's going to be good.
Oh, thank what
The advice
guys.
the advice I give to Bill Belichick is you're going to have a lot of offers out there. What I would do is look into the financial stability of those teams, because like the Cowboys, that's good. Like the Patriots, that's good. If you go to the Chargers, I think they're good. But like the worst thing you want, you look up and in like 8 months, that team goes like chapter 11. Like that
would be a
could
problem.
like if that news hit, you could be sitting there going, and think about if you dodged that bullet. Like you went to the Cowboys and then the Commanders went chapter 11. You're like, oh my God, thank fucking God I didn't take
So do you
that
think
job.
Bill Belichick's gonna like come back now to the Patriots
Uh,
after everyone like yells at him
potentially.
about that? Or?
Maybe he potentially calls Kraft while
What was
Kraft's on the beach.
potentially-
I bet
that.
he won't show up to Foxborough for 3 months though.
Well, he'll sign back tomorrow then, right?
no, well,
He's gonna call Kraft.
no, there was if I had to guess Bill's head, I would say that there was a full 48-hour period where he was like, I made the right decision. Then I think there was another 48-hour period of panic.
Bad panic.
Or an hour period
no.
of panic, and then a 48-hour period of
How many-
how do we erase all these things?
How many times does he call Kraft?
Well, no.
I know how many times he called everybody else in the
Yeah,
organization.
yeah. I know how many the ticket guy got.
I don't think I called you.
You probably don't remember.
Don't
even.
let me go on the records. We had some conversations.
In the 5 period, in the 4 days they're trying to make the documentary about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, then I was blacked out.
Yeah, you were.
Potentially, but
Let's talk about Saban though, quick.
yeah.
Saban leaving as well as
Him actually retiring.
actually retiring. He was
Still, I'm gonna be honest. I forget Saban won a national title at LSU.
Yeah.
Anyone else do that? I completely forgot.
Is there any what coaches? I forgot that Roy Williams coached at Kansas. I completely forgot.
Well, you're too young,
Yeah.
and you don't.
Completely forgot that. I know I was too young. I wasn't like I wouldn't remember. I just forgot.
He was at UNC forever.
That's what I'm saying.
Saban coach at Toledo
Yeah, that's crazy too.
and Michigan State
And the Dolphins.
and the Dolphins.
It's just crazy.
His last win in the NFL was against the Patriots.
Oh really?
Actually, can I tell a funny story about that? Do you guys remember when Doug Flutie did the drop kick?
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a meaningless game. Miami's winning. Belichick, obviously, him and Saban had a relationship. So he sends out the kicker. Saban's like, what the fuck is going on? And Belichick, after Doug Flutie makes the drop kick, Doug Flutie was like, yeah, it's like Chris Berman told Belichick, like, Doug Flutie knows how to drop kick from, like, Canada. So he asked Flutie, like, what's the chances you can make this? He goes, 80%. Brings Flutie out to the field, and he just did it to fuck with Saban. Like, he just wanted to show Saban his, like, football knowledge. Like, they were trying to always one-up each other.
It's crazy that instead of extra point, you could just always do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Still.
Has Dan Lanning won anything?
So I guess he technically, he's been Oregon for 2 years.
Hasn't won there.
Hasn't won, but one has been like close, I guess. He was Georgia's defensive coordinator prior.
So as a head coach, was it just head coach as Oregon? I don't know.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that was his first. He's young. He's only like 37.
Because he's the coach. He's the
Yeah, no, Lanning's gonna be the guy.
I fucking wish Lane Kiffin was the coach. I wish he was. It would be so fun.
You want to know what the like genuinely part of it is?
Him fucking everybody.
Him like he fucked like all the boosters'
Yeah.
wives and shit.
Yeah, 100%.
There was apparently it was Travis said this, but I'd read it as well, like on Twitter and looking at some other places, that they talked about Kiffin and it was like kind of split.
Yeah.
Like he had a lot of support, then he had a lot of people saying like fuck
Listen,
that.
I get, as a fan, I want it, but I also, as an organization, as a college, you probably don't want anyone that's like you have to question about.
Honestly, Lanning has such a rise in. Dukes just put up, but I was talking to Trav about it too. He was the GA for Bama for the 2015 national title, and I think he went from GA in 2015 to by 2022 head coach of Oregon. That's crazy. What a rise!
Lanning
So supposedly
like
he's
this?
not going to Bama.
Who's saying that?
Like, I heard that last night there was a recruit at Oregon who was like, Lanning was in the locker room laughing with players when they said like he was in Tuscaloosa, and he liked a tweet from Josh Pate being like, Dan Lanning hasn't been in Tuscaloosa at all this week.
I do believe Josh Pate. He's pretty on point, but I don't think he would.
I don't think that means anything.
I don't think that means he's not getting a job. But I trust Josh Pate at least that he's not in Tuscaloosa.
That's the Josh P I trust the most with. Working hard.
Obviously this is wishy-washy.
Come on.
Obviously this is wishy-washy, but like this was also a quote.
You're on one today.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one. You're on one.
See if the chat picked that one up.
I'm sure they did.
I like don't know if he's gonna leave.
And I think also every coach has to say this.
But yeah, you can't like. What are you going to say in
course.
November, in the middle of a potential title run that you might
Yeah,
leave?
There's-
like Harbaugh's.
Like at that point, they were one of the favorites to win national title.
Yeah.
There's one thing that's on my mind with Dan Lanning is if Oregon wants to be taken as like a very serious program that competes for national championships, how do you let your last 3 coaches leave for bigger money?
It's fair.
Like
It's fair.
you have got to do everything it takes to make sure that Dan Lanning stays.
And it's crazy
This
they don't
is-
pay him
you
because
just look
like,
like a- you
you
just look like a
have
ladder.
Nike. Like Nike.
Yeah.
But he makes a lot of money. This is a very like Bama's unique job.
You don't go
Like
to-
you're absolutely right with Cristobal and all that. But this is like a truly unique. Like Bama's like the elite of the elite. Yeah, it's
the number one job in
pretty much.
sure.
I mean, it's 1A, 1B with like the cream of the crop. I mean,
Yeah.
If Saban,
What's
if
better
Saban's
than,
leaving
you know,
LSU,
I would say
for
there's nothing
Bama,
better. I would say like
the same
when you
thing.
take like Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, like all the like US like these elite elites. It's
Bam is like number one.
Georgia,
Like,
it's-
I hate to say, but like the Yankees are like the team.
of course you know that's. I
Alabama's
mean, yeah,
the
it's of course.
The one thing that I could say is that Bama, though, the standard is national championship 13-0. Like
Yeah.
13-2, you're like or whatever it is going to be with like the 18
one
playoff.
loss is
Yeah.
done. Yeah, it's tough.
The
but
standard's set, and you're replacing Nick Saban. You're not
Lanning-
rebuilding.
It is weird with this NIL shit, the transferring shit. Like, so Dylan Gaylor goes to Oregon,
Yeah.
expecting Dan Lanning to be the quarterback, like the head coach. Just like that's got to be crazy. Also, if Dan Lanning doesn't go, who would even? We're saying Kiffin's kind of not. Who else would even be in the running? I haven't even seen any other names.
Well, I think Kiffin would make if Lanning didn't happen. I think Kiffin would be potentially back in the race.
How do you think fucking Dabo?
I said I was saying
in Alabama.
He
not
played his way out. He played his way out of the job.
He won't do the transfer portal. It's the
Crazy.
dumbest thing ever.
It would ruin.
I said to
multiple titles.
Travis
He played his
Sarkisian.
way out of the job. Coached his way out of the job.
I think Sarkisian would make sense. He was their offensive coordinator for
Let's
like big
get
teams.
let's get Lincoln Riley there.
I'm that.
Carroll, the US.
They
Carroll, the
don't.
USC.
Lincoln Riley plays candy ass football. They don't
Yeah,
have
but
that
get him
style.
there. Get Carroll, the USC. Let's get everyone back.
I love Pete
Could
Carroll.
you see DeVore?
I could see. What if Harbaugh becomes just an ultimate villain?
No way.
Alabama.
Fucking Bama? Oh no way.
And I guess that also is like going to 1B.
Imagine they just threw the bag at
That
DeBoer.
would be funny.
Which one's 1B?
Huh? Michigan would be 1B.
Oh no, so yeah, it's going from
1B to 1A.
Do you
yeah.
think there's any chance that like this makes Harbaugh stay more? Like, cause now the opening to be the king is there.
No, I don't think. I think it's.
I just really think he
Good
seems like
question.
he wants the. It's fair question. I just think he really wants like the NFL.
I think that
comeback.
he'll get run out of Michigan of all these allegations and all this stupid shit happening.
He doesn't want to deal with that.
I think yes, the king is definitely open and like yes, that'd be great, but I don't think he wants to deal with this. Like he got suspended for 3 games this year, and he doesn't want to deal with any of that nonsense anymore.
The other interesting part of this is
Kirby,
what
obviously.
does Oregon do? Because I was talking to Travi too. Like Oregon has a pretty good track record if you talk about hitting on guys. Now they had the Willie Taggart year, swing and a miss. Cristobal, okay, let's
They didn't
put it that way. But
obviously Chip Kelly was great.
Marco Bellotti was there for a long period of time, built that program. 95, like 5 or 6 10-win seasons, like really, really good. And then you get Chip Kelly, who does really well as well. And then this guy Lanning was obviously a great hire. So like,
Helfrich.
what?
Mark Helfrich.
Helfrich was a good
Yeah, he
hire
was
too.
very
He was
good.
successful. Like Oregon has been pretty good in hiring. So like, and if you miss, you can already see that in a period of transition. You got to hit right now too. You got to hit again.
That's why wouldn't they look into bringing Chip Kelly back from UCLA?
I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it.
He's
I think it's something.
recruited
I think
pretty
it's something
well,
they consider for sure. I would think they'd consider it at least.
Yeah, it's you look out west. Like I'm trying to think of who's been the Fresno guy obviously left. DeBoer obviously left. So Fresno's guy still new. Boise fired their coach.
But crazy,
last year.
DeBoer was only at Fresno for like 2 years.
I know.
DeBoer's had an
No, I'm just
incredible
thinking,
rise as well.
like San Diego State has had a changeover. There's not a. I don't know who.
There's no like big head coaching job and like head coach in the West that would like make
Yeah.
that like a seamless.
Do you know who the San Diego State coach was?
It was
Brady
Brady
Hoke.
Hoke.
Yeah.
He retired.
Yep. He retired this year. I'm just saying, it's just like hilarious. Like it's like one of those names that just looks like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
Rocky Long
It's
was
like Rich Rod.
beast
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
But yeah. So I'm interested to see
Coaching
what Oregon
carousels
does.
are so fun. Like, say who's going to go to Oregon now, like, how everything just happened.
And how much what you said too. It like if Lanning leaves, Gabriel can just go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah,
he
he'll
will.
the whole. Just
He
go
will. He could just either go to Bama with him or he could go somewhere else.
The interesting thing is
Milroe-
the whole
Milroe
ripple effect.
back, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they. I mean, obviously, you'd want probably Dylan Gabriel over him.
I would think so because he can run well and he throws way better.
Yeah.
The coaching carousel is the NFL with 8 open jobs now.
Yeah.
8, that's a ton. That's
NFL's
crazy, right?
That's crazy. It should be more too.
Might be more. What if imagine the Cowboys get rid of McCarthy? I mean, there's
also
a couple things
did-
that could happen.
Smitty was saying he thinks if the Eagles,
Eagles, yeah, Eagles.
lay a dud to the Bucks.
Schefter says Sirianni's safe, and Schefter's usually been on point with Eagles coaches. What's going on? But if they lose to the Bucks in the same fashion that they've been losing games, I can't see how you keep them.
No,
I
it's
honestly
fair.
just don't.
I agree with you.
If they just go lose by like double digits,
We can't have
But
it.
also, like, you got Ocho Cinco saying that the Eagles are playing possum, like they're going to come out and ball out. That's also an indictment on Sirianni.
Yeah.
Like, why is Dallas
Put
Goddard?
yourself in a bad
Why
spot.
is Dallas Goddard saying they checked out once they made the playoffs? Like, what? Like, and clinched? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't play possum to like lose the division.
exactly.
Had an interesting thing where he said, "What if Bill goes to the Falcons and brings Justin Fields over there?" And listen, I'm not a Justin Fields guy, but him on the Falcons just seems right.
It has to happen. It's such a good fit.
Bills never had a quarterback.
The only
like
thing
that, right?
the
I mean,
the
Cam Newton
Bears
really wasn't that mobile when he was there, so
Oh, Cam, yeah, he couldn't move.
Bills never really had a true mobile quarterback.
no, but I would say the Bears keeping Eberflus is interesting. I think a bad decision.
But it's got to be one of the worst.
But
How do you fire everybody but him?
That's
I
what
agree.
I was
It's a-
getting.
it's a
That's where I was
weird-
getting.
They only think they didn't fire the GM either. Poles is still there.
I
but-
know you want to keep your job, but if you're Eberflus, like, how do you feel confident with that? Like, you're the next guy on the fucking chopper.
But I mean, what are you
obviously
gonna
he thinks
Good job.
Yeah.
I agree.
if they
Obviously,
go
keep
put
your
together a
job, but,
season
like,
next year, he could stay. Obviously, but
Yeah, it's
So, well, who else is gonna get? Who's gonna take him?
I mean, that division, they're not
he'd be a coordinator probably.
talent-wise, they're not that far off from.
They
making
improved
better
pretty
moves.
drastically this year.
Split was a huge move.
It's a lot of pressure on him.
I thought that was.
And I mean, Moore obviously had a great season. Like you saw,
Did you also see that Sweat had the most sacks for the Commanders and the Bears?
yeah.
Oh, really?
He had 6 and 6.5. He
That's
led both
insane.
teams.
What a player.
He led both teams.
That's
But with going off the Fields thing, I think Eberflus staying. I could be totally wrong here, but just my natural thinking. Eberflus staying makes me feel like there's maybe a slightly more of a chance that they stay with Fields.
DJ Moore is like advocating for him to stay insanely.
I know I'm like the guy, whatever, but I just really like. I think when you watch him, you see there's so much there to keep building on.
Still think it's insane. I mean, you have the #1 pick with the.
That's fair. It's a unique situation. I agree.
I'm taking away the talent. I don't care unless you are. He hasn't proven himself enough to.
Think about what you can do with that pick or trade.
That's the thing. You can build such an amazing core.
You can get like 3 impact players this draft if you play down, like instant pick impact players.
What they got?
They have 1 and 9.
What they get last year? They got with the Panthers. Who they trade? They got DJ Moore, right, from the pick, and then they also got the #1.
The Panthers. I like to be in those conversations. I think the Panthers just added DJ Moore for no reason.
They were probably yeah, I don't even.
Which shows how bad
the Bears probably didn't even ask.
Yeah.
Like, you want DJ? Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we don't have any receivers. We could use #1.
Yeah. Wild times to be, to watch these two guys go is crazy. So
And I wanted to say this because we're probably coaches. Where I tweeted yesterday, where are we putting Pete Carroll on the all-time just football coach list? I think it's higher than people would give
You
credit
put him
for.
above Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure. Not even close. I would say it's not even like
All time is
close,
a big. I mean, maybe top 20, maybe.
did he only win?
He's won.
All time is tough.
So
How many
to
did he
me,
take at USC? 2?
how many what?
How many titles at USC?
That he went to or won?
One.
I think only won. I guess.
Still one on
technically.
one.
got 1 and 1.
The Vince Young year was back to
My I guess my sales pitch for him.
And I love Pete Carroll, by the way.
I guess my sales pitch for him. He's basically one of 2 coaches, basically ever, to build a college championship team and a pro championship team from essentially the ground up. But I know, listen, USC's a high value program, but when he took over USC, they were bad.
Right.
And he brought them from bad to like the pedestal, like the college football team that we still talk about 20 years ago, 20 years from it happened.
Yeah, was that the most like college football team ever?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He built like that from the ground up to like
Maybe
perennial
some
national title
U-teams.
team.
Oh my god.
And then also and then took over the Seahawks and brought them to 2 Super Bowls. I mean, they really should have won 2, but regardless, they won 1. I mean, his resume is
Very good.
I think you could make an argument like fringe top 10. I think top 15, like comfortably, in my opinion. I think you could easily. I think top 15, in my opinion, is like safe.
It's a shame because if he just gave the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, he'd be like top 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's like 1 play away from it being like 2. And like even the Vince Young, like he's like 2 plays from having 2 in each.
Bro, do you?
Which now you're talking
that's crazy.
him being top like 5 all like one of the best coaches ever.
Are you guys looking at his fucking run at USC?
That's that's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
He was
went-
incredible.
He went 6-6 in his first year. Like these are the things you forget. There should almost be just Twitter accounts of reminders, like sports reminders. Somebody create that. 2002, 11-2, won the Orange Bowl. 2003, 12-1. That's what made me think he got to, because he should have been to 3 in a row. So in 2003, they had a bogus loss. I got to figure out, or whatever, 1 loss. He probably should have got in.
See, look, even they gave him like he was the AP. They were like
the
AP national
champ. Yeah,
champs,
I think that was the year. Fuck, let me see it real quick. Was that the year they just absolutely smashed State Penn? No, they smashed. Oh, they beat Michigan 28-14. Who'd they lose to? They lost September 27th to Cal 34-31 in 3 overtimes when they were number 3. That's fucking insane.
That was from they won like 20 some games in a row after that.
And that was when the Pac-12 was like, it's
and
really,
sports-
really good. So then 2004, he wins the title. 2005, obviously that game against Vince Young. 2006, 11-2. 2007, 11-2. 2008, 12-1. That was another year. That was probably the State Penn game I'm remembering.
Dude,
Yes,
they were incredible.
they won 38-24. Oh, I thought
Won the Pac-10 7 years in a row when the Pac-10 was like legit as fuck.
it's unbelievable. And then went 9-4 in 2004, 2009, which is like a down year. The man lost 2 fucking bowl games. His first year, he lost the Las Vegas Bowl, and then he lost the national championship game. He won 4 Rose Bowls. Went 4-1 in Rose Bowls. 1 was the national championship. He went to BCS Bowls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. I mean, it's fucking insane.
11-11 in the playoffs lifetime.
The only place he didn't really win was with the Jets.
Yeah,
And the
dude.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah, Patriots.
He made the playoffs, didn't he?
Twice, but he
yeah.
didn't. It did not end well.
What did he do with the Jets?
One year we ran.
Exactly.
That's
So it's legitimately the only place they didn't win.
that's on us. That's on the Jets.
Exactly.
Everything's on.
It's not. That's
Yeah.
not on Pete Carroll.
Literally,
No, that's
You
that.
say, like,
That's the
why-
definition of it's on the
Because
Jets.
we replaced Carroll with Rich Kotite, who might be the worst coach ever.
I
Look
second.
at anything. If you ever want to say like who was it on? It was on.
It's on the
Yeah.
Jets.
Joe Flacco, Jets.
No argument here. That press conference is coming up.
Brett Favre whipping it
Wrap
out.
Jets.
Was he doing that on the Packers?
No.
Not that we knew of, at least.
we knew
It
of.
leaked on the Jets.
You have to remember that a fan was
Yes.
killed. A fan was killed via a halftime show at a Jets game because of a error in a flying lawnmower accident. Fact.
What?
I don't remember this.
Yeah,
What year was this?
fact.
Was this swept under the rug? Only the Jets.
Just only psychos
sales
like
ticket
us
sellers
know
know
about
this?
it. And when you work the ticket sales, and every
Yeah.
once in a while you get the call and be like, you know how much I suffer? I watched a lawnmower fucking decapitate Joey in section 336. Look it up.
Lawnmower
Look it up. I know I say a lot of crazy shit. This happened. Anyway, picks tonight. Marty, what do you got? Yeah, flying lawnmower.
Start
death.
the flying lawnmower
1979.
death.
All right.
1970.
I thought it was
I'm thinking, yeah.
2000.
A spectator at a,
That's the year I was born.
at a 1979 football game was decapitated. What?
It was in front of hundreds.
Do we know what day it happened? I'm just curious.
December, 9th of December.
I was alive.
I mean, we just had a Dolphins fan murder a Bills fan. I was at the stadium this weekend.
Yeah,
you
that
saw
was
that?
really sad.
That's fucking nuts.
That's
Isn't that the second time? Not
I
shocking.
have a-
having the Dolphins fans killed two people. Opposite
I have a
fans this year?
real I have
in
a
the last like 2 years.
I have a real problem with people who go to games hoping to get into a fight.
Dude, if you go
Oh yeah,
anywhere-
the worst.
Like you respect other
Especially as
people's
like a
it's
grown ass man.
insane. Whatever. Picks, Marty. What do you got?
I got Michigan State plus 3.5 against Illinois. Obviously without Terrence Shannon Jr. I'm going Maryland minus 5.5 really quick. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but the Michigan's point guard, Doug McDaniel, is only suspended for away games. So he's suspended for the next 6 away games, but when they play at home, he's allowed to play. And they suspended him for academics. How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Focus on just
No. So he's not playing tonight as well. So I'm going Maryland minus 5.5, and I'm going to go Tulane plus 7.5.
What's that for you? Ev, what do you got?
Yeah, I love the Tulane plus 7.5 play as well. Yeah, I also like Michigan State. I mean, them catching 3.5 on the road, unranked, they haven't been great. And I like the over in Utah. Was it Utah UCLA? Yeah, Utah UCLA over 137.
I'll give you 2. This was a team we all kind of watched live and walked out of the gym being like, "Oh my God, they are horrific." Do you know who's 4-0 in the Pac-12 right now? Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Do not quit on Arizona State yet. Yet
They did look
a lot of
they did look
talent.
bad.
Early with a lot of pressure out there. I think they got a lot of talent. I think they can work their way into being a tournament level team. So Arizona State plus the 6.5, and I'll also take Gonzaga minus the 8.5. I think that line's a little light. Clemmer.
I'm 0-3 in NBA bets. Here's my fourth one here. Donovan Mitchell under 5.5 rebounds. He has 5 rebounds total the last 3 games. But like I said, I'm the worst NBA better of all time.
Smitty.
New Mexico State money line plus money right now, as well as Carolina Hurricanes cracking over 5.5.
Yeah, I'm with Smitty. I got New Mexico State plus 1. I'm going to take the money line probably. FAU minus 7.5. Northeastern plus 4.5 against Hofstra. They always play Hofstra tough. That's been a pretty good rivalry over the past couple of years. And then, fuck it, I'm going to take UMass Lowell minus 14.
Fuck it.
UMass Lowell is such a weird team that like I followed 2 years ago because they beat Dayton, and now slowly but surely they're becoming a great low major team. UMass Lowell minus 14.
Shout out to Johnny's. Little hot
Do you want to
streak
talk
going
about
on.
it, Rico? They looked great last night.
They
they're
are
very-
good.
They're very good. I went and re-listened last night to the comments that I said. I said, dude, a million different times.
That's insane.
That's hilarious.
The fact that you did that is insane.
That's why I love you.
Do I think that they can win a title? 100%. I don't know who the next guy is. I don't know that they're guaranteed to get top level recruits in the he's got 2 top 100 guys. He doesn't have like the best recruiting class. He's going to hit the portal. But again, who is the guy after him? Can he win a title in 6 years? 100%. But I think St. John's has put themselves in a position where he has to win a title.
Marty, but you also, Rico, like I'm on 2 shows with you, so I listen to all your takes. You're not. If Johnny's were doing bad, you would be doing the song and dance.
Remember when they remember the first game they lost?
Yeah.
He was tweeting nonstop. Don't go shy away. Say they suck.
They don't suck.
But
No,
He's an unbelievable coach.
Take it back.
But they are in a position where if they don't win a national title, they're going back to the relevancy that they were in the 2000s.
That's not true though. If he has 4 seasons of like Elite Eights,
Building.
There is
and
absolutely
that's building on someone that's next. Like winning the national championship.
Makes
it's
the
not
job
a,
more
it's not a
intriguing.
guarantee for the next guy. They keep talking about the facilities. I don't know if the
you keep
facilities
talking about the facilities.
the facilities are accurate. It's just accurate.
Is it Rapoli's going to put some money in though now?
Yeah.
Agreed, but he's got a
That's the
long
word?
he's way behind the 8 ball.
I don't think
Like
they
everybody
are.
on your
But
block.
St.
everybody
They're
on
on
your-
they're like they're starting to get the 8 ball rolling. Like
Yeah.
they have,
No, but I agree with what Marty said. If they go on some runs, like maybe they could that next coach they attract maybe is like a very good coach. They
Some of the best recruits in
Going.
the country right now are playing in his backyard, and they're
Let me
all
ask you a
going
question.
elsewhere.
No offense.
But
I think that.
you knew that it's a battle going in. Like everyone's knowing the facilities are bad. You're like imagine all these like big time colleges you're going to. You're visiting these huge lawns and these massive. In like the facilities of the basketball team in the locker room
Agreed,
and they got game rooms and all this TVs and all this crazy shit. Obviously, that's always going to be an uphill battle. But I think if they can get it going, if they can even make the facilities a little bit better, I think that would go a long way.
I think that's outdated though to also just be like, look at the recruiting rankings. Like if I'm just looking at the freshman recruiting rankings, like half the guys that are going to where X, Y, and Z might not even be there in the next year.
Also,
So I
if
think
he,
they
if he
just
can hit
look at the
the
recruiting, like just because
The portal changes things.
that's what I was saying. If he can hit the portal too,
Rico, there's also like this fast, and it's so random, but like lacrosse wise, I know like Hofstra lacrosse, they made a living off people going to fucking Harvard or
Coming
like,
back.
and then coming back home because they couldn't.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
wouldn't go
he got that with Ledlam. No, all I'm saying is, though, is again, a guy following the City League, like the recruits now, a couple of these kids have left for prep schools this year, which was stupid, but Ian Jackson, North Carolina, kid Choppa, Elijah Moore, I think, or Elijah Smith. Choppa is going to Syracuse. Boogie Fland, Kentucky. Christ the King has kids. They did get one kid, but a bunch of those other kids, UCLA, this, that. There's a kid in a couple of years from St. Raymond's. Like, the league is at the highest level it's been. And
How long will they be there in college for?
but you know, like,
How long will they be in college for?
2, 3 years.
obviously it's going to be tough to keep kids over. Like all you need to get is like a couple of them.
But
Yeah.
Ev, also like
he's just gotta
does
get one.
Pitino strike you guys as the type of guy that wants a first year freshman and just like try to get the most out of him in a year,
No.
or would you rather take a third, fourth year?
He's already kind of said that. I feel like that he
Right.
wants like listen.
RJ
Cooper
Lewis on St. John's is so fucking good. He's
Cooper
so
Flag is like
unbelievable.
a guy. Yeah, like he's going to Duke no matter like he's going to those no matter what. But wait, Pitino last night. Patino on Kim English in Providence.
Oh, that was an
His
all-time.
team plays like they haven't eaten in a week. Our guys are in a buffet every hour.
Dude,
I love that.
Seeing him at the
You
Garden,
guys are fat and happy.
Yeah.
seeing him at the Garden and just like controlling the court with the suit, it was unbelievable. Also, hilarious for you, Rico and Marty. Some girl walked up to me last night, and she just comes up and she goes, "Hi, I just needed to come up to you. I need to say hi. I was a big fan of Bench Mob." I was like,
Nobody told us
I
that.
wasn't on Bench Mob, but I was
Still
like,
out
that
there.
is.
There we go.
I was like, I told Owen,
Still
like,
out there.
lives on
I
it.
told Owen, I was like, I swear to God, that was the last thing I thought was gonna come out of her mouth.
Somebody told her to say that.
Also, did you watch Butler?
That's how much it still is.
Did you watch?
Plant.
Did you watch Butler?
I did. Very good.
Very
Marquette, something's up with Marquette. They just can't shoot.
Holick is struggling at the moment.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I
having
think Butler,
trouble.
and then Ohio State last night was a.
Ohio State's a piece of shit.
I'm sick of Holtman, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, them collapsing at the end of games is like the Holtman. I'm calling it now the Holtman special.
Can 'em.
The entire time, that's always they constantly they just fold. Like he is the worst at like dialing up plays out of timeouts, like how to close out games, like beating press, all things like that. They just make stupid decisions, and the team just fall apart. He just shits down his leg. They look at him. He's got nothing for him, and the team shits down their leg too. It's
You talk about all-time Pitino
gross.
quotes.
They're
that
like
remind
always
me.
winning at the 4-minute mark, 5-minute mark, and they just fucking lose. It's crazy.
There's a story. He was so fucking pissed at Edgar Sosa and the way he was playing. Kid from Rice High School who ended up. Was he on that title team? I don't know. I forget now. But either way, he called him into his office and was like, you know, the way things are going, like, I think you should transfer. And Sosa's, like, obviously heartbroken. Like, I'm about to not play for Rick Pitino. And he tells the kid, don't worry. I got a lot of friends in the business. We'll find a school that doesn't prioritize defense. Right to his face. Fucking
That's funny.
maniac.
There was
So-
did you see the Pitino shit I was telling the guys last night? Like, so Pitino, they played UConn at St. John's at the MSG, and UConn took over.
Yeah.
So Pitino after the game's like, well, like, we're just gonna play at Carnesecca next year.
Yeah.
And then Danny Hurley's like, well, like, that's kind of embarrassing that you can't even play in MSG, like, for like the fans at UConn. So now UConn announced that they're playing for Lou Carnesecca's 100th birthday at Carnesecca Arena against UConn.
Yeah, they made up
next
like
year.
they made up that they're gonna honor Lou Carnesecca.
Yeah.
Like Pitino, yes, he respects Lou Carnesecca, but he couldn't have a fucking interest.
No,
in
he
the
couldn't
world
kill
of
us.
honoring.
Also, just I think there's just the Tennessee lost, so now 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 5 lost.
Yep.
UConn was in a sweat last night against Xavier.
So didn't
Yo, the Mississippi schools are both good.
9 lost as well last night.
Who?
What, didn't Oklahoma?
Yes,
Yeah.
they were dogs, but yes, they did lose to TCU. Yep, they lost.
The Belichick press conference just started, and he opens it with, I haven't seen this many cameras since we signed Tim Tebow. Bill's got
That's-
jokes.
Bill's
That's
got it.
awesome.
He lightens up. The second he's retired, or the second he's done, he lightens up.
On my walk here, I watched him talking about the importance of special teams, and it was like the 5-minute rant.
He got another joke here too. His goodbye message to the Boston media: "I respect what you do. You're a voice of the fans." Yeah, I'm sure he really respects the media. He's been shitty to everyone in the media for 24 years, and he tells them on the way out, "I respect what you do." What a liar!
Good.
Oh, he
That's
was.
another lie. Another Bill Belichick lie.
Sosa
just
was not
because
on that
Belichick
title
put
team.
on a mental masterclass over all of them for 20 plus years.
Here, Dukes, can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah. Did you guys?
But
also see-
Sosa was not on that title team. That title team was.
what the
Russ
fuck is
Smith.
happening with Miami, by the way?
I think I like Larinaga. I think
Play no
it's-
defense.
I don't know.
It's in the story.
I love
I don't
watching
know
them
if
play. They're
it's
fun
crazy.
as hell to watch.
It's
but
crazy to say because they made the Final Four last year, but I just think they just hit it. They went on an insane run with shots.
They live and die by the three. They still have an incredible offense. They're not big either physically.
Dan Lanning's
People are
dropping
enjoying my
videos.
What's
analysis right now. No,
Dan Lanning just dropped a video of this, like, if you're scared your coach is leaving, then come play for us.
I don't like that. I don't know what.
Dan Lanning, the Ducks aren't going anywhere. He's
Oh,
not leaving.
I hope he goes now.
I mean, he's the one that tweeted it. And he
Yeah.
goes, and I'm not leaving. He's not going.
I can't show the article, Rico.
Really? All right. It says the quote says, "I basically told him that if I were you, I'd transfer and I wouldn't wait." Pitino said, "You could go somewhere and have a year to learn the system. The fans aren't happy with you. You're not happy with yourself, and you're not happy with. You're not having fun. Well, look at some schools that don't play any defense. There aren't that many, but I know a few.
Can we talk?
It's
Dan Lanning's not leaving.
Yeah,
That's crazy. We just had a whole segment of that. He's going there.
That
I'm gonna show
Yo,
the
I'm,
video.
I'm telling you, they're gonna get fucking Lane now.
He's gone.
I think that's priority number
Well,
two.
I
They're gonna
was
go.
gonna
They're
say- I was
gonna
gonna
go. They're gonna go after Lane.
100%. But this is also it. If Sark goes now, you
Holy fuck.
you could lure Arch Manning to Alabama now, and
Imagine.
you got
Holy
Lane
shit.
Kiffin who could lure all those transfers to Alabama.
I had Travi out
oh
there
shit,
telling
he
me
would
that.
play right away. Arch would play right away. Right?
Arch-
Travi out there
I mean,
told me
that's-
Dan Lanning bought a house in December.
He did say that. It's true.
Well, you know, real
maybe he
estate
did. Maybe he did.
team.
He might have. Maybe likes Alabama.
Dude, if you were making $20 million a year, whatever he's making, I'd buy houses in every freaking D1 spot just in case.
I play this video.
Where Rico or
long as this
Duke's
video.
also it's too many.
Four. Who has goals and aspirations? Raise your hand up. All right, everybody got goals and aspirations. You know how you get those? You be the best where you're at. If that's how you reach goals and aspirations, that's how great things happen. It's not about worrying about the next thing. It's about worrying what's right in front of you, 6 inches right in front of your face. I want to remind you guys what that means. You guys that just got here don't know them, right? But it means something to be an Oregon Duck. Everybody makes what? They all make commitments to things that they're going to do. A lot of starters. The world doesn't have a lot of what? Finishers. We're finishers.
I want to be here in Eugene for as long as Eugene will have me. This place has everything that I could possibly ever want. There's a little bit of a problem in society today with people looking for what's next and where there's an opportunity. And the reality is, you know, the grass is not always greener. In fact, the grass is damn green in Eugene.
It's crazy.
I will say this. If he still leaves, this is the best villain move of all time.
Of all time.
That's funny.
All time.
Of all time.
Rico just
all
rooting for the
time.
villain.
But
I kind of am, and I'm an Oregon guy, so I love
you're-
this. This
you're
is
kinda
fucking
right
awesome.
When
but-
you said like Bama, it's national championship or bust. Like, he's getting paid a shit ton in Oregon. He's loved in Oregon. He had 2 losses this year. Everyone's still like, great job, Dan. Like, he lost the same team twice when he had probably one of the better rosters in college football.
Got the best merch.
I would almost think about staying too. Like, he's loved there.
He's only been there 2 years too. He just got there.
Yeah.
Only been a head coach for 2 years.
Yeah.
Lane makes sense because Lane, like, he's ready to prove himself. I would imagine, ready to prove
Yeah,
himself.
Ole
that he
Miss
can
was
take
his
over.
like stepping stone, kind of.
I mean, if you could
back
win,
into it.
if you could win 10 games at Ole Miss, I mean, that's impressive.
Do you think Lane wants? Like, obviously, would go to Alabama.
I think
Like,
he's
he
gonna
also
go.
did just like recruit his ass off for.
But but he's saying, yeah, you remember all the things he said about Ole Miss? Now Bama.
Yeah.
Come on with me to Tuscaloosa.
True. That's
Everything I said about Ole Miss, now everything I just said, it's way better at Alabama.
You're gonna get drafted first.
If I convince you to go here, man, shit.
What was the quote Clemmer used for Belichick?
He's a fantastic liar.
Yeah, that's Lane.
Prolific.
I'm a fantastic, prolific liar. Come to Alabama.
Unbelievable.
Belichick and Kraft did not take questions. They just read statements and walked off.
That's what they do.
But remember, Belichick respects the media.
All right.
Voice the
Barstool Radio going now. We'll be back tomorrow.
And pray for Mincy.
Wild card weekend.
Yeah.